1. Introduction. My name is Becky. I want to tell you my story. It is about my life. It is about my marriage. And it is about a big secret. I married a man named Todd. I was 27 years old when we married. Todd was kind and handsome. He had a good job. He was successful. Everyone said we were a perfect couple. People looked at us and said we looked so happy together. And I was happy, very happy. When I married Todd, I felt like my life was really starting. Before Todd, my life was fine, but it felt a little empty. With Todd, I felt complete. I thought my real life was beginning. A life with love, a family, and a future. I had many dreams for us, simple dreams. Like having a home, maybe children one day, and growing old together. I felt very safe with Todd. I trusted him completely. I thought he was my best friend and my partner for everything. He was my world. I never had any doubts about him, not one doubt. Many people told me I was lucky to have Todd. I believed them. I felt lucky. He was everything I wanted in a husband. He was strong, smart, and loving. He made me feel special. He made me feel loved. We had a beautiful wedding day. Our friends and family were there. We made promises to each other. Promises to be together forever. Through good times and bad times, I meant my promises. I believed Todd meant his promises too. Our first months of marriage were wonderful. We went on a nice trip. We made our house a home. We spent a lot of time together. We talked about our plans for the future. Everything felt right. Everything felt perfect. But life is not always perfect. Sometimes people hide things, big things, secrets. I did not know then that Todd was hiding a very big secret from me. A secret that was already part of his life. A secret that would change my life forever. I had no idea. My perfect world was built on something that was not true. This secret was hidden very well. I never saw any signs. I never felt that something was wrong. Todd was very good at keeping his secret. He was living 2 lives, and I only knew about one life. The life he shared with me. My life felt perfect. I was happy. I was in love. I thought I had everything I needed. But I was wrong. I was very wrong. The secret was always there. It was waiting, waiting to be found, waiting to break everything. I did not know my happy life was not the only life Todd had. I did not know he had another life far away from me, a life with other people. A life he kept completely separate. Until the day it all started to break. And it started with a simple message. 2, a strange message. One evening, the house was quiet and warm. We had a nice dinner. Todd said he felt tired and wanted a shower before bed. He went to the bathroom. His phone was on the small table next to the sofa. It was dark and silent. Suddenly, the phone screen lit up. It made a quiet sound. I was sitting nearby. I looked at the screen without really thinking. It was just a message notification. But then I saw the words on the bright screen. The message was from a name I did not know. It said, "I miss you. The kids want to see you." My body stopped moving. I froze completely. My eyes stayed on the screen. The words seemed very big and important. "The kids want to see you." Kids? What kids? This was the first thought in my head. It was like a loud noise inside me. Todd had never, ever spoken about children, not one time. We talked about our future, maybe having children one day. But he never said he had them now. He never said anything about kids who wanted to see him. My heart started to beat very, very fast. Boom, boom, boom against my chest. My hands felt cold. My mind was full of questions. Who sent this message? Whose kids were they? Was this real? Could it be a mistake? I looked towards the bathroom door. I could hear the water from the shower. Todd was in there, maybe singing quietly, maybe thinking about his day. And I was here, looking at words that did not make sense in my life. My perfect world, the one I thought was so strong and real, started to shake. It felt like the ground was moving under my feet. That one short message, just a few simple words, changed everything in a second. It brought a cold wind into our warm house. It brought a question I did not know how to ask. It brought a fear I did not understand. My life felt different now. It felt unstable and strange because of those 6 words on a phone screen. 3. A big lie. I asked Todd about the message on his phone. I said, "Who sent this? Who are the kids?" He looked surprised for a moment. Then his face became calm. He smiled a little. He said, "Oh, that? It's nothing, Becky. Just an old friend from a long time ago." He said the friend had children and sometimes wrote strange things. He said it was not important. I wanted to believe him. I really did. He was my husband. I loved him. I wanted my perfect life to be real. So I told myself it was true. It was just an old friend, a strange message, nothing more, but my mind was not quiet. I felt a little worry inside me. After that night, I started to notice things. His phone was often with him. He took it everywhere. When it rang, he often left the room to talk. His voice was quiet. Sometimes more messages came. I did not see them clearly, but I saw his face change when he read them. My worry grew bigger. It was like a small, dark cloud in my happy sky. I tried to push it away. I told myself I was being silly, but the feeling did not go. One day, I made a decision. It was a hard decision, a scary decision. I decided to follow him. After work, I waited. When he left his office building, I started my car. I stayed far behind him so he could not see me. He did not drive towards our home. He drove to a different part of the city. A part I did not know well. He drove for many minutes, across bridges, through streets I had never seen. Finally, he stopped his car. He was on a quiet street. The houses were small and close together. He got out of his car. He walked to the door of one house. It was painted a light color. There were some small trees in the front. He did not ring the doorbell. He did not knock. He put his hand in his pocket. He took out a key. It was his key. He put the key in the lock. He opened the door. Then he walked inside. I watched from my car. My body felt cold. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. This was not an old friend's house he was visiting. He had a key. He went inside like it was his home. This was a secret. A big secret. My perfect world felt very, very broken. For the other woman. My heart was still beating fast from the day before. I thought about the house and the key. I had to know the truth. So the next day I went back. I walked to the small house on the other side of town. It looked quiet. I stood in front of the door for a moment. I felt nervous and afraid. Then I lifted my hand and knocked. My hand was shaking a little. I waited. The door opened slowly. A woman was standing there. She was maybe the same age as me. She had 2 small children standing beside her legs. They looked maybe 4 or 5 years old. The woman looked at me. Her eyes were tired but kind. She said, "Hello, you must be Becky." My stomach felt cold. She knew my name. How did she know my name? I could not speak for a moment. My legs felt weak. I needed to sit down. She saw my face. She opened the door wider. "Please come in," she said. I walked inside the small house. It was simple and warm. The 2 children looked at me with big eyes. The woman closed the door. "My name is Dana," she said. We sat down in the living room. The children played on the floor. Dana looked at me again. "Todd told me about you," she said quietly. My mind was spinning. Todd told her about me. What did he tell her? Dana started to talk. She told me that she and Todd had been together for a very long time. She said they met 10 years ago. They had the 2 children together. She said they were a family. She said she thought I was the other woman. She thought I was the problem in their life. I could not breathe. 10 years, 2 children. She thought I was the other woman. But I was married to Todd. We had a home. We had a life. This was not possible. My world felt like it was breaking into pieces. The ground under me was gone. I felt lost and completely shocked. 5. 2 families. The truth was clear now. It was like a dark cloud covering the sun. Todd had a secret life, a complete double life. He had one home with me. He had another home with Dana and the children. He had 2 families. He lived 2 different lives at the same time. I had to talk to him. I looked at Todd and asked him why. Why did he do this? Why did he lie for so long? Why did he live this secret life? It was hard to understand. My head was full of questions. My heart was full of pain. Todd looked at me. He looked sad, but also tired. He said he didn't know how to tell me. He said he loved me. He said he also loved Dana. And he loved the children. He said he could not choose. He said he wanted both families. This answer made me feel terrible. I felt so many things. First, I felt a lot of anger. How could he be so selfish? How could he hurt me like this? How could he hurt Dana and the children? I was also heartbroken. My perfect life was not real, it was built on a lie. The man I married was not the man I thought he was. I felt lost and confused. What did this mean for my life? What was I supposed to do now? My world felt shaky. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run away and never come back, but it was difficult. A small part of me still loved Todd. I remembered the good times we had shared. I remembered the plans we made for the future. I didn't want to lose everything. I didn't want to lose my husband and the life we built together. But that life was not real. It was a part of his secret. The weight of the truth was heavy. It was hard to think. It was hard to breathe. This secret changed everything. My life would never be the same. Todd had another family, and he said he loved us both. It was unbelievable and very, very painful. This was the start of a very difficult time. 6. A hard choice. Becky and Dana met again after that first terrible day. It was not easy for them to be together. They sat in a quiet place. They looked at each other. There was no anger between them, only sadness and hurt. They talked for a long time. They shared their stories about Todd. They told each other how they met him, what they loved about him, and how he had hurt them. They cried together. They felt the pain of the past weeks. The shock of the truth was still fresh. But as they talked, they found something unexpected. They found strength in each other. They were both victims of the same man's lies. This shared experience made them feel less alone. They realized they were not enemies. They were two women who had been deeply betrayed. They talked about the future. They knew this double life could not continue. It was wrong. It was unfair to Becky, to Dana, and most of all, to the children. They made a very difficult decision together. Todd had to choose. He could not keep both families. He had to pick one. This was a hard choice for them to force, but they knew it was necessary. Becky felt a mix of fear and determination. She had to do this. She went to see Todd. Her heart was beating fast. She stood in front of him. She looked into his eyes. She saw the man she had married, the man she thought she knew. But she also saw the man who had lied to her for years. She took a deep breath. "Todd," she said, her voice clear and strong, "you have to make a choice." Todd looked at her, confused. "A choice?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "You have to choose between me and Dana." No more lies, no more secrets, one family. Todd's face turned pale. He looked shocked. "Becky, I can't just choose," he said. "I need time to think about this. It's a big decision." Becky shook her head. She had heard enough excuses. "No, Todd," she said firmly. "There is no more time. You have had years. The time for thinking is over. You must choose now." The room was silent. Becky waited. This was the moment everything would change. The decision was his, but her life depended on it. She felt the weight of the situation. It was a very hard choice to demand, but she knew it was the right thing to do. For everyone. 7. A new start. Todd made his choice. He chose Dana. He said he needed to be with his children. He felt it was his duty to give them a complete family. It was a very hard moment for me. I knew it was the end of my life with him. I had to move out of our home. Leaving was difficult. I felt completely broken inside. I felt like I had lost everything that was important to me. I was alone in a new place. The first few months were very difficult. Everything felt unclear and full of sadness. Each day felt long and empty. I didn't feel like doing anything. I just felt lost and sad, but time passed slowly. After many weeks, things started to change a little. Very slowly, I began to feel like myself again. It was a long process. I had to find my own way without Todd. I started to remember things I liked to do before. I started to think about what made me happy. One day, I found my old painting supplies. I had not painted in a long time. I started painting again. Painting helped me. It gave me something to focus on. It helped me express the feelings I could not say in words. It was a small step, but it felt important. I started to do other things too. I went for walks. I met with old friends I had not seen much. I started to learn who I was as a person, not just as Todd's wife. It was like building a new life, piece by piece. It was a new start, even though it was not the start I had wanted. 8. My new life. 1 year has passed now. My life is very different. It is not the same life I had before. Things changed a lot. After Todd chose Dana, I felt lost. I felt like I had nothing. But slowly, things got better. I started to build a new life for myself. I moved to a small apartment. It was quiet. At first, I felt very alone. I did not want to see anyone. I just stayed in my home. I felt sad for many months. It was a hard time. But then I started painting again. Painting made me feel a little better. It helped me to think about other things, not just the past. Slowly, I started to go out. I met new people. One day, I met a man. His name is Caleb. He is a very kind man. I talked to him about my past. I told him everything about Todd and Dana. He listened to me. He understood. He did not judge me. This was important to me. Caleb makes me feel safe. He makes me feel happy. He makes me laugh. I did not laugh much before I met him. Now I smile often. I feel strong again. I know that the past was difficult. It was like a fire that burned everything. But now I see that new things can grow after a fire. My life is growing again. I still think about Todd sometimes, but it does not hurt anymore. The pain is gone. It is just a memory now. A memory of a time that was very hard, but it taught me something important. It taught me that I am strong. It taught me that I can start again. It taught me that a new life is possible even after great sadness. I am happy now. My life is not perfect, but it is my life. It is a good life. I have good friends. I have Caleb. I have my painting. I have peace in my heart. I am looking forward to the future. I know it will be good. My new life has truly started.